Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Donald Trump is going to be pissed, and everybody's wondering what happens next. Because 2 American soldiers and 1 American civilian interpreter were just killed in Syria, along with 2 members of the Syrian security forces who were wounded. Now, these 3 Americans who died, we won't know who they are for at least 24 hours. Here's a statement from U.S. CENTCOM indicating that indeed 2 U.S. service members and 1 U.S. civilian were killed as a result of an ambush by a lone ISIS gunman. Now, there are rumors that this may not have been an ISIS gunman and may have been a Syrian security force individual who went rogue, but that's also potentially a dangerous rumor that we have no corroboration of at this time, because Donald Trump is selling that we are in Syria, working with the Free Syrian Army in a way that has been the best ever. Nobody knows coordination with the Syrians better than we do. And this begs the question, why are we in Syria in the first place? What is this ancient city, and why do we care about this particular town? Keep in mind, there are a lot of references to Palmyra. Palmyra is an ancient city in Syria, and when you Google it, you just find these ruins. And that's why the more modern name for the city is Tadmur. Tadmur is the modern, poor, impoverished town. It's got residents of about maybe 53,000, so it's a relatively small, poor town. And it begs the question, why are we there? Why would a convoy of U.S. troops have been patrolling in the city in the first place? And the answer has everything to do with the war on terror. After the Assad regime collapsed, we had a massive power vacuum. Given that Tadmur is in the Badia Desert, which is a known ISIS hideout and transit zone, the United States has established a presence of 2,000 troops in Syria to help prop up the Free Syrian Army. By doing so, we have actually limited the power of the Russians and Iranians, who before 2025 had a lot of power in the region. So all of this is counterterrorism, intelligence gathering, and an attempt to try to limit Iranian-backed militias such as ISIS or Hezbollah or the Houthis, obviously Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, from attacking our allies in the region such as Israel, or using these as staging grounds to attack American bases or American allies in other regions or America itself. So this is really a continuation of the war on terror, and now it begs the question, how is Donald Trump going to react? Donald Trump has already been ramping up his attacks against, or I should say, maybe not his attacks, but his aggressiveness against Iran, not just obviously with the Midnight Hammer strike, which were direct B-2 bomber attacks of nuclear enrichment facilities in Iran, but more recently through tanker seizures of oil heading for Iran. Take a look at this footage. This is unclassified footage of the United States seizing a Venezuelan oil ship leaving Venezuela en route to Iran. Now remember, this pressures Maduro, whom Donald Trump wants gone. The ship clearly not only has links to Iran, but frequently transmits false location data to trick our abilities to track these ships to find out where they are. The New York Times had a great breakdown of how they were showing satellite footage and imagery like photos of the ship in locations that were totally different from where it was transponding that it actually was. And that's because these ships are sanctioned ships. They are operating illegal operations, and Donald Trump doesn't like illegal operations, and Donald Trump is likely expected, in my opinion, to send a very strong message to ISIS after the killing of American blood. The spilling of American blood is something that Donald Trump ran a campaign on, making sure would not happen. It just happened. And so I expect a very severe retaliation to this now breaking news that 3 Americans have been killed by terrorists in Syria. Obviously, this is why the rumors are very dangerous, that potentially could have been a Syrian soldier. Again, we don't know. I hope not. Let's go with the official narrative that this is an ISIS individual. And if it is, again, I expect drone strikes, I expect counterattacks, but expect this to really establish the narrative that Donald Trump might have to strengthen our presence and attacks in the Middle East. And that's going to run the debate of, wait a minute, what happened to the campaign promise of no new wars? Why are we running military drills outside the coast of Venezuela? Is it truly because of drugs? Or is there something else we're looking for, such as regime change in Venezuela, which of course is always risky because, well, we see what happens in Syria. Once a regime gets toppled, such as the Assad regime, a power vacuum brews, and who takes over? In Venezuela, it could be cartels. You actually exacerbate the very drug problem you're trying to eliminate. Or, in the case of Syria, it could be groups such as ISIS, the Islamic State, who we know hate the American way of life. Remember the reason Osama bin Laden gave for the attacks against Americans. Don't even need to repeat it here. It is a devastating difference in ideology, and usually, I expect at least, Donald Trump responds to force with force. So stay tuned. I'll keep watching for updates. Feel free to subscribe. I gotta go look at some real estate now because we got a fundraise closing at the end of the month. It's a house hack fundraise. And I wish you all stay safe out there.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.